Welcome back, guys. We have a surprise today. So we have a box that arrived. So let's see what we got here, guys. I think this is what I think it is, but we'll see what it is. Ah, and then you can see it. We have gaskets. Yes. And we have headers. Oh my goodness, guys. That's really taped in there. Hang on. Let me get our knife. There we go. Let's get these out of the package. So guys, what we received are some eBay cheapo shorty headers. Compared to what we got, long tubes over here, down to that flange, that custom flange and stuff, those long tubes are a little bit different, but what we were going for was a stock location, and these were, what, 200 bucks ship, you know, on their website. I'll have a link on them, but they aren't the best in the world. Needless to say, I don't know what that angle is. That is a 90-degree friggin' angle there to make it go underneath that. 6 is literally a, let's see, can you see 6? The 6 is a horrible design. I think that's gonna cause major issues. That should have just been, but I think they're all supposed to be equal length. Like the fronts look okay, but good God, getting bolts in those are gonna, that's gonna be hell. That's gonna be hell. Yeah, I don't like the design on this. And look at the inside. These could use a lot of cleaning up. These are tiny tubes. I don't know if these are gonna work right. That is just a crap-tacular design that came. Compared to what we got, you guys saw what we got before over here. That looks decent. Nice thick long headers. Open space to bolt. Well, you know, I guess you get what you pay for. That's gonna take a lot of grinding to clean that all up. Well, see what we see, get what we get. We'll get them installed here. Not this video, but we'll get them installed once we get everything done. But what we're gonna do this video is finish cleaning up our subframe, get them welded, and get our oil pan cleaned up and everything too. So let's get to it. So guys, last video you saw we got the oil pan off. We now have the oil pan cleaned up and degreased and everything. We also have the cross member, front cross member, cleaned up. We power sprayed it, we cleaned it. Now we are going to weld in our reinforcement plates that we have here from Condor. So what we need to do is we need to clean up all this on the inside with a Dremel so that we can get these down in this hole. I don't know exactly which way they go. Some people said they welded on the top, but I think you weld it from inside like this. Boom, just like that. See that those holes line up, and then you just you weld around that, and that reinforces it. So that's what we'll do. So let's get out the Dremel and the grinder, and let's get this all cleaned up so that we can bust out the welder and start welding, so that we can get all that back together. So let's do it. as you can see, we got the area around where we're gonna weld and inside all cleaned up. So what we'll do next, armatures, we will drop our plate in. You see each plate will fit right there on either side and will be perfect for welding. Some people weld it on the other side. We're gonna weld it on the inside. And then what we'll do is we're gonna put the motor mounts. Let's open these. Turn the oil pan. So we're gonna take the Condor motor mounts with the Condor brackets, and what we'll do is we will put this through the hole and make sure that the washer off there. Make sure everything lines up while we tack it in. We're not going to put the washer and the bolt on because we don't want to accidentally weld that, but we are going to set this up so that our bracket, find out where that is. Alright, yeah. That's the only way it goes. Only freaking way it goes. Okay. So we're gonna do that so that it all lines up and is so you'll see that will set, well, once I'm gonna set this back side up too on something. We're gonna get this all kind of put into place so I can weld anyways. So we're gonna make sure that that goes in there and that fits there, and then that is a plug hole over there, so that really doesn't matter. Let's get this thing, there we go. Look at that, look at that, look at that, look at that. Okay, because we want to be able to get that in there easily and work it, so we're good to go. Let's get the welder out and we'll tack these, and then we'll pull our motor mounts off so that we do not have the motor mounts in while we're welding. We don't want to mess with those, but we'll tack it so that it won't move and go from there. So let's get all of our welding stuff out, hooked up, and ready to go. So guys, got my welding playlist on, got my stick welder, and we are going to start. We're going to tack it first. We're going to start with a minimum current. We're going to tack it in the corner so that it doesn't move. And then once we do that, then we can pull our motor mount out. And we'll do the same on the other side so that we can then pull all that out and then we can safely weld. So, mask down. Okay, now that we have the innards welded, we need to weld these plates here. And from what everybody is saying, is you weld them. Yeah, there we go. There we go. I'll show you guys. So these weld in. Whoa, still hot. These need to weld in, but they need to go up and under, and then you hammer them down. So it's kind of what I'm gonna do. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna weld them from the top. Here, let's show you guys. You're stuck. Okay. So you weld them. See the gap that's there? So you weld them from here, and you weld the top. Same with this side. And then you hammer them down, and you hammer these flat to this, and then you weld it right there. So that's what we're gonna do. We're gonna put some tacks along the top on either side, and then we're gonna hammer it down and then weld it. So the last one to do, last two, I guess. So let's get to it. I'll come back when we tack it, and then I'll show you how we hammer it. We're gonna have to take this way back in the backyard and hammer it because Chandler is sleeping, and I am definitely not trying to wake him up today. So let's get this tacked. Okay guys, well, we have them tack welded, and we are gonna clean them up a little bit and then weld our front pieces so that we are completely done. Then we can finally get this thing really cleaned up, really wire wheeled and ready for powder coat, along with the oil pan. And I gotta pull the motor mounts off tonight because those are also going to powder coat as well. So I'm gonna get all this looking fresh so we can get this all back on the car and the car back down on the ground. So everything is welded, tops and inside. So the subframe is done. We just need to wire wheel it and clean it up. Now we can set this thing off to the side, let it cool, and chill out for the night. And we are gonna pull, we're gonna put the welder back up, but then we are gonna pull the motor mounts off so that we can get those cleaned up and powder coated as well. So let's get all this welding stuff off and go pull the motor mounts. Okay guys, well, got those out. Passenger side was easy. Driver's side, I had to take the oil, had the freaking fuel filter off the bracket that I made because it sits right in front of the mount. But both mounts are off, and we are going to get those cleaned up. But those are going to get dipped by the powder coater. Same with that, because they got to clean everything up. He's doing a bunch of stuff. He's doing motor mounts, cross member, and the oil pan for 300 bucks. Which I couldn't do myself. If I cleaned them up, scraped them down, cleaned them up, and powder coat them, I couldn't do that. Well, my time would be way more than that. So only other thing I want to do on this video today, guys, is our oil pump nut. At least get the old nut off and the new nut on. So let's figure out what size that is, get that off, get the new nut on, and then I need to get some safety wire pliers that spin, and then we'll get that done. But let's get the oil pump nut off and see what we got. So yeah, we have some dirt, but I'm gonna clean off a lot of this stuff with some brake parts cleaner before we put our oil pan back, because we gotta still scrape off our old oil pan gasket. But we need to get this nut off here, and it's a reverse thread, so righty is loosey, lefty is tighty. So we need to figure out what that size is, and we'll get a probably not a socket but an open end on that, and get that taken off. Well, that was frightening easy to get that freaking nut off. Like, unbelievably frightening easy. So now that we have that nut off, I am going to roll this. I don't know why they gave me a gasket in here. They gave me a gasket. I don't understand. Oh, and they gave me a rubber gasket. I don't know if it goes somewhere or not. It didn't look like it. So put our new nut on, and of course it's reverse thread, so lefty tighty, righty loosey. So we are gonna get this on here, and we are gonna tighten this down a little bit. And tighten that down, and then we are gonna put our guide wire in. Where's our guide wire? Where is it? Oh, let's see. I can't see here. Let's see. Spin around. There you go. So there we go. Guide wire on. So since this is lefty loosey, I mean lefty tighty, righty loosey, and we want it to stay tight, we're gonna take it up to this one right there, and we're gonna go that way with it, and get it right there and tighten it to that one so that it can't loosen itself and go that way, which is righty loosey. We don't want that. So I'm gonna get those pliers and do everything. But guys, that's it for this video. That's all I really have to do. Heads up, those headers that we got, we sent those back. Those headers were a absolutely shit design and were horrible. You saw that one bend was just, it wouldn't even flow right. So we sent those back. The guy refunded us fully for them, and they just got sent back on Tuesday, so we should be getting a refund on that. Then we will go and buy some better, decent headers. Spend a little bit more and get the better ones than getting the ones we got. But that's it, guys. We are actually still moving forward. So now that that's all welded, I'm gonna grind that down and kind of clean up the welds before we send it over to powder. But those are ready for powder, that's ready for powder, and that's ready for powder. So get all those powdered. I'm thinking I'm just gonna do black because it's easy and it's clean and it looks good and it hides everything. I don't need anything to like pop and stand out. I think just a gloss black, something easy that we can clean, spray down, everything would be good to go. So let me know in the comments what you think, if we should do black or we should do a color. If anything, only other color I think I would do with silver or like chrome, but I don't want to do like a chrome or polished because I don't want to deal with having to polish and clean it. I think if it's black, we can spray it down, we can clean it real easily, and it's done. So let me know in the comments what you guys think, and I will see you next video. Hopefully next video we have all of our stuff back and we can start installing.